Hello, hello, hello. This is Allegro again. I'm talking a little bit quieter because everyone is in bed. Well, everyone else is in bed. I'm the only one up still. So I am on the PlayMindcrack server. For anyone who doesn't know where it is, it's us.playmindcrack.com. I am playing a game of dwarves versus zombies, where the main goal is basically, if you're a dwarf, to kill as many mobs as you can before you die. And the main goal as a mob is to, 1, wipe out any remaining dwarves, or 2, destroy the shrines, which I kind of liken to command posts on Battlefront or stuff like that. So that's the main premise of the game. I'm fairly good at this game. I am not perfect at it. I usually remain in the last 5 by foreseeing when something is going to go wrong, and then I retreat as necessary to protect myself. So oftentimes I last until the end of the game, only because one could say I'm a coward. But on a good note, basically what happens is when the game starts, you have about 10 minutes to prepare, build up the defenses, get your weapons, get your armor, and prepare for battle. Then afterwards, there is a plague. It can either be a rage, where everyone just clobbers one another in the hopes of getting enough mobs to actually fight against, or you get sick and you have to hit other players, or an Enderman comes around and kills everyone. And basically what the Enderman does is it'll go from person to person. It'll hit one person and then go to the next closest dwarf until... This is peculiar. It's a tad dark. Why is it so dark? This is worrisome. I think there might be a glitch. Oops, I didn't want to pick that up. Here, you go take that. No, you... Okay. No, I don't want a shield. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so apparently something was going awry. Oh, and another thing I should mention. In this game, one person will randomly become a hero. And the only hero that I've really seen while I've been playing this game is... I don't want a second pick. Why do I have a second pick? Go take that. Is Bruce Willikers, which is a different... just slightly different from the guy who made Dwarves vs. Zombies, Old Man Willikers. So, I'm not entirely sure why the names are different. I thought I heard something about the name not being available initially when Old Man Willikers first set up his account, but I don't know how true that is. Now, generally, this is the quarry, and this is where I do a majority of my work in preparation. Now, you take the shovel to gravel, and it turns into cobble, which you then can use for your walls. Now, occasionally you will see the little gold ores right over there. That is basically, you'll get little gold ingots from it that you take back to the, I don't know what you call it. You basically put it on this little platform and then right-click with a pick until it's all nice and shiny, and then you mine it, and then you end up getting, I don't know what you call it, you end up getting armor from it. But you can't put armor on yourself. You have to put it on someone else, which causes, which causes people to have to work together. Dwarves have to work together in order for this game to work as it should. Let's see, do I have? That should be enough. I only plan on carrying enough cobble to make sure I don't get stranded outside a wall. And occasionally, in an effort not to plague, I will sometimes hang about the walls up over there, or all the way over there as soon as it gets closer to nighttime. That way, in case there's a plague and all these zombies start coming out and going after their little dwarf friends, I'm relatively safe. Now, obviously that isn't always the case, but ever so often. Okay. I've not really used mortar as much, generally because all the other dwarves, will go about making all their supplies, and they have a ton. So this annoys me sometimes when I don't know, it's a little OCD for me when someone puts an outline of stone but then doesn't fill it in. It's just, and a word of advice for people who have never played this before: when building walls, thick, not tall. Tall means you're going to die very quickly if you get knocked off by a mob. I want to briefly tell you about the different mobs you can be. Initially, you can only be one of 3 mobs. You can either be a zombie, or a creeper, which you got a one-shot, explosion power, or a skeleton. And you can shoot arrows, and those arrows have knockback power, which is what it goes back to what I was saying about if you make the walls too tall, you can die if you get knocked off by one of those power arrows. So there are special mobs that you will randomly be, and it'll come in at the most annoying. What is this? What? I have no words. Just hold like that. Okay. It's wall integrity issues like this that allow the mobs to get in. We don't want that. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying about the special mobs. You can be a baby zombie, which they get extra speed boosts and all that. And they also have a digging capability that they can break holes in the wall quicker than normal zombies can. You can be a spiderling, which you can poison dwarves. Your poison, I don't believe, can kill them, but, and here's the big but, if you time your attack with a zombie, your poison can be quite effective. Also, if you right click, you can turn a stone block into this, I don't know what you call it, maybe green goop, which is easier to break down. Then you have super creepers, which are creepers on steroids. Basically, you blow up next to a dwarf, they're going to go flying high enough in the air that when they land, they will die. Unless they have a roof over their head, but you still get a fair amount of fall damage, I've found, even if you're protected by a roof. So, but yeah, anyway, I think I've covered the general rules. I always get nervous because I don't know where the sun is sometimes, and it makes it fairly difficult. Okay, there's the sun. Okay, so night is nearly upon us. I don't know what those two are doing. I'm assuming they have a reason. But if they plague, this ought to be interesting. I'm going to get my good trusty sword out. Oh, I forgot one big rule to tell you about. Okay, so basically if you kill a mob, you get an attack bonus, basically, where anything you hit, any mob you hit, within a couple seconds after your first kill, it's known as a proc, you end up getting literally one shot, one kill. You hit a mob once and they're done for. So it kind of works out. And you can ride those procs to really boost your kill number and a variety of other things. I just want to check and make sure I'm not talking to myself. Let's see. Okay, so it is indeed working. Okay. Sorry, I may check from time to time, just to make sure that I am actually recording and not talking to myself. Because I've talked to myself before and it's not fun. Then again, I'm talking to myself now. Oh dear, night cometh. I'm going to shift. Maybe a dwarf won't pay attention to me if I'm shifting. And for the record, sky platforms and towers are not allowed. I have no idea what he or she is doing. I figured might as well stay here. I don't know what those three are doing. I don't know what that person's doing. I'm just gonna wait here until everyone plagues. Although if I hear an Enderman, I'm running. Because those Endermen are nasty. They'll just bump into you at the worst possible moment. And if they do, you become a mob. And quite frankly, I like being a dwarf more than I like being a mob. To be brutally honest. Because you get more kills as a dwarf than you do as a mob. I think my record for kills as a mob was 3. Now, I'm hoping... Whoops, that's out of order. Oh dear. I have this strange feeling those two are gonna plague or something. Oh no. Okay, we're safe. Whew. Okay. Oh no, we had a dwarf slain by a zombie. So early in the game. It's only just beginning. Oops. Oh, and if you're not by a torch at night, you're gonna get visibility decrease. And also when you're in the dark, mobs hit twice as hard. So, okay, so the monster has been released. I'm safe from attack, at least initially. I'm going to get to my positions and hope for the best. Okay, let's see how many kills I can get. Where be everyone? Aha! Vanderpan is referring to the wall. I quite agree with him. Okay. Some days I'm a really good shot, other days there's much to be desired. You took my kill, Bruce Williker. See, I don't get the people who jump off the wall and go fight out there. Did I get him? No. Bruce Williker stole it again. Dang, flab it. Oh no, I want my oh no. Oh, and I forgot Wolverines. Yeah, you have Wolverines too, which have a special jumping ability that is actually quite useful for getting behind enemy lines. And Spider Kings, which I believe have the ability to carry another mob on their back. Useful transit. I do not understand some people. Okay, come on. So sometimes I'll get really good, bow kills. I'll sometimes get 10 in one go. But then other times it's kind of stagnant. And I kind of have to wait until I get attacked or the fight moves into the proc tunnels. Dang, flabbit. So one of those two things. And I always watch my back because so often I've gotten knocked off walls. Oh dear, was that a flying spider I see? Yeah, for some reason lately I've been noticing a lot of hackers. And it never used to be a problem, but it started surfacing about 2 weeks ago. And I noticed it after Mojang put through a couple of their updates, just to the overall Minecraft. And but it's frustrating. You'll see flying mobs, and it makes it really difficult because if a mob gets too far in and they haven't taken a particular shrine yet, they'll get hit by a lightning bolt. But the people who can fly, have the fly hacks, they have the ability to circumnavigate that issue. Which, good, the hacker left. Okay, so now I'm but I'll tell you, it can be a bit, and then see, I forget the most commonplace of things. Iron golems, they have 40 hearts. They can, their main weakness is bows, but when you get into hand-to-hand combat, good luck, you're probably gonna die. So close to getting that creeper. I'm sorry, this is, slightly less than stellar footage, just because I'm kind of sitting up here on the wall. I'm almost tempted, but the last time I was tempted to go down here, I ended up getting killed. I don't intend to do that yet, because I like playing as a dwarf, and I usually am there till the end game. And if you get close to the mob spawn point, you'll notice some dwarves blinking red. Flippers. That's because if you get too close to the mob spawner, you get struck with nausea. It's weird though, I'll tell you. Wow. Hello. No, not bad. Haha! I killed someone! He said gleefully. Killing's bad, folks. But, except in this game. And it's awesome. Morning is nearly upon us, which gives us a little extra time before the mobs get really intense. Because eventually there will be a solar eclipse, which will make it dark for all of us, but all the mobs aren't affected. Usually, see, generally I'm always nervous being on this side, because the mobs will come in through the wall and then come up those stairs and just knock us off the walls, often into darkness. However, there are about 6 doors right over there, so, aha, I got them. Generally, if they're paying attention, it's not an issue, but then they start falling back, and then it becomes a big problem. And even some will still literally, they will go the long way around, come up the mountain, jump down on the wall, and it doesn't kill them, surprisingly. And if we're not paying attention, it becomes a little bit of an issue. See, when they're on fire like that, I can't tell if they're a super creeper or not. So it's always one of those, I want to shoot at a door inadvertently. So those little green blocks in the distance, those were the spider goo that I was telling you about. You know, where my little cross in the center is. Those little green blocks there. Anyway. Oh dear. I'm hearing stuff about a flying zombie. You guys might see a hacker in action. Rocket Science 9. You know, and just as a point of principle, it's actually really quite sad that people seem to think that hacking to win is necessary. It floors me that integrity is suffering. But I suppose it could be worse. Oops, no. That was stupid. Alright. Well, thankfully it's daytime, so no one's gonna sneak up on me without me knowing. I will let you ponder the absurdity of that statement for a moment. Alright. Flying zombie. There it was. No flying zombies are gonna get around me. No. Not in the least. Okay, what? zombies. Such a shame. But yeah, it's weird because it's just really become an issue in the last 2-3 weeks. I never had this problem before. And we'd maybe get one hacker with a rapid fire bow, but because that was the only hacker that I really recall. They had a rapid fire bow. They had a force field around them. It was impossible to get them, and it was a dwarf. So you can imagine the game would just go on and on and on. And people almost just left the game. But I mean, now I'm seeing a lot more. I see maybe one hacker per game. Generally. Oh, and this one has a speed boost as well. You can tell I'm a horrible shot today. I'm hoping that this audio comes out and I'm not just, having to be futile. I think I turned down my system sounds low enough so everyone can hear me. But I figure, sorry, random tangent. I'm just thinking, I'm kind of surprised that even with these hackers, the shrine is still intact. This is crazy. We have a flying skeleton, we have a flying zombie. Oh, I really hope we don't get a flying iron golem. That would be really, really bad. We're all dwarves here. And if that happens, I may beat a hasty retreat. Oh no. Okay, bye-bye. I'm retreating. Because I'll tell you, iron golems are bad enough when you're well, this is a nice little house. This is very quaint. Iron golems are bad enough, well, when they're fighting normally, but then you get a hacker. Holy cow. Maybe I'll just get away from them and then go up on this side of the wall. It seems that I'll run into fewer issues. Oh. Oh, shoot. What stinks is that you can't see skeletons beyond a certain distance. Aha! Crazy hackers. I'll tell you though, it's sometimes nicer when you're playing DVZ with friends. Reason being is there are some down times, especially if you're not necessarily on the front lines. as I was saying, it's sometimes better to play DVZ with friends. Reason being is, if you're not on the front lines, sometimes it can get pretty dull if you're playing by yourself. Oh, did I get poisoned? Bad spray. Bad. You shall die now. But it'll get... It is not the most fun during those downtimes. But when it gets to the proc tunnels, it's really, really quite fun. Check how my armor's doing. Okay, my armor's doing alright. Not in need of repairs anytime soon. Oh, shoot. Almost shooting at me. Alright, time to beat a hasty retreat.